So a lot of people are afraid that their thyroid function is going to be destroyed when they go keto or do carnivore. And there are a lot of health experts that will tell you you need to have carbohydrates to regulate your hormones and especially for your thyroid. So let's explore if that is actually accurate. Why should you listen to me? I was featured on the first ever carnivore TV show, Reverse TV series. I have a PhD in nutrition and exercise physiology from the University of Miami, and I've taught for decades at the University of Miami and DeVry University, ACSM, the American College of Sports Medicine. Check out the testimonials also on my website after coaching thousands of clients. And also, I've lost 30 pounds and managed to maintain it. So, there is a widespread fear that keto or carnivore destroys the thyroid hormone. And that's understandable because your levels of thyroid hormones are probably going to drop once you remove carbohydrates. But I will explain why this does not mean that you have a slow or sluggish thyroid. The truth is that the opposite usually happens because the most common cause of a slow thyroid is an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's thyroiditis, whereby your own body starts destroying your thyroid gland cells, and that slows down your metabolism and slows down thyroid function. And the great thing about ketogenic and carnivore diets is that they remove a lot of autoimmune triggers like grains and beans. And carnivore is more powerful because it goes a step further and removes all plant toxins. So even vegetables are removed and fruits. So Dr. Stephen Finney and Dr. Jeff Volek have been doing a lot of very important work. And on their foundation's website, Virta Health, they reported on a study that they've conducted. And what they did is they measured the metabolic rate of people on a ketogenic diet. And this is really powerful because the thyroid gland is your master hormone that regulates your metabolism. So if your thyroid hormone is getting destroyed, that means your metabolism is getting slower. And so by checking your metabolic rate, we should see a drop in your metabolic rate. However, this does not really happen. On the contrary. So because we see that your metabolism does not slow down through the studies that you can go and check them out on their website, we know that there's no way that there's an actual slowdown of your thyroid despite the lab tests showing lower results on free T3, free T4, and TSH. Another line of evidence comes from Harvard, where they look at people who follow a carnivore diet and they can see that their metabolism speeds up by around 300 calories when you remove carbohydrates and you actually enter that state of ketosis. So, what is happening here? Your body seems to become more sensitive to the effect of thyroid hormone function. So, your body doesn't have to work extra hard when you do keto or especially carnivore. It doesn't have to work extra hard to pump out all of this thyroid hormone for your body to actually get the signal. So, now your body is just more sensitive to your thyroid hormones, which is why your levels drop because the body doesn't have to overexert itself to achieve the same results. It's very similar to insulin and insulin resistance, right? When you're eating carbs, your body's pumping all of this insulin to try and regulate your high blood sugar. Now you remove the carbs, the body doesn't have to work as hard and it no longer releases all this insulin. It's like very minimal amounts of insulin gets released, right? You become more insulin sensitive. Similarly, this seems what happens with your thyroid. You become more thyroid sensitive. So if you still feel that your thyroid function though is being compromised and you have all the symptoms that might suggest that you have a slowed thyroid, like your hair falling out, brain fog, the whole host of symptoms, then I would suggest, first of all, if you're having all those symptoms and you're doing keto, I would suggest going carnivore, full-blown carnivore, to remove all potential autoimmune triggers from plants. If that doesn't work and you're still not finding any relief, then at that point I would look into your iodine status, or you can just check your iodine status right off the bat. Why waste time, right? And make sure you correct any deficiency that might show up. Another study in 2021 reported that low carb diets that are characterized by high protein and high saturated fat intake improved thyroid function. So, just we have lots of lines of evidence that point that if you want to have more energy, better thyroid function, it's probably a good idea to do at least keto or maybe even carnivore ideally. If you want to work with me one-on-one, check out the website drsarahzaldivar.com/coaching. And for my guides, drsarahzaldivar.com/shop. And you might enjoy watching this next, the 3-day carnivore diet meal plan for weight loss. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want more similar content, please let me know and I will make sure I film similar topics.